Okay, so I literally just finished South Park: The Stick of Truth. Um, there have been South Park games in the past, but none have even come close to the greatness that is this game. This is the definitive South Park game by far. And if it's not the definitive South Park game, it is probably the funniest game I have ever played, ever. There's been lots of good comedy games, but nothing has ever come close to South Park. And then on top of it, so this has three: the best South Park game ever made, the funniest game ever made, and it is also the nastiest game I have ever played. I've never seen anything that quite literally grossed me out or shocked me more than this game. The king of it right here, ladies and gentlemen, is South Park: The Stick of Truth. And then there's the gameplay, which is some goofy RPG. Okay, so what is it? Well, obviously it's a game that takes place in the South Park universe. Kind of like it plays just like the TV shows. Kind of your characters are all flat, and they walk around in this three-dimensional world. All the voice actors are there, all the music, all the typical South Park kind of humor that you would imagine. The boys are playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons, and so that's the basic concept of the story. That's why it's an RPG. You're leveling up the new kid. You're not playing as any of the normal boys, though they are party members that can play with you. But you are playing the new kid. You can custom design your own South Park kid, and you choose a class: warrior, thief, mage, and Jew are the classes. I chose Jew. Turned out to be a really awesome class for me. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire synopsis there. I mean, you're just going on an adventure in South Park that starts as an RPG battle between two Dungeons and Dragons factions, and the kids are role playing that out, and that's their excuse for letting them fight and battle things out. So whatever. Very funny game. Jeez. What I liked about it, jeez, oh my gosh, everything. I mean, there was just nothing that sucked. There was no frustration to it at all. The entire game had a perfectly awesome, smooth ride from start to finish. You never ran into a moment where I was like, I did play this on the hardest difficulty. I don't know if that's, if it was the hardest game I ever played. It certainly wasn't. But I did play it on the hardest difficulty, and it still felt not, it was challenging, but not ridiculously difficult either. All of this, the combat just felt good. It never got annoying to me. It never pissed me off. You have to push your buttons sometimes. Like you'll say, it's a little bit more interactive than what most RPGs ask of you. So yeah, you'll tell the command, "Hey, I want you to go and attack with your sword at this target." Well, the game also wants you to hit your A button when the thing flashes or some event happens. That way, you're very interactive with the game as well, instead of just sitting back watching stuff happen. I love that. That kept me involved. I had to stay on the edge of my seat. I had to execute my abilities correctly, or the ability wouldn't go off well at all. So, that aspect was really cool. Of course, typical RPG stuff. You got to get armor, new weapons. They have sockets so you can add new stuff. You can't do anything to your party members. They always have the best gear and the best whatever. They are simply there to support you with new, more extra abilities. You can also command them in an environment to do things. Like, for example, you tell Kenny to distract these guys over here in non-combat situations. He'll pull down his top and show off his flat chest, and they think they're boobs, and they'll go after him. Just different things like that. Like Butters will heal people in the field at a non-combat way. That's how you can use them outside in the world. Um, Also, there's lots of little abilities that you'll get throughout the game that are very LOL-ish and lulz filled. So you'll see when you play the game. But geez, I don't know. It's like the game feels like an episode of South Park. I think that says more about the quality of this than I could ever say. You don't feel like it's a game. You feel like you're playing in an episode of South Park. That's how good a job they did with the story and with the comedy and with the way everything flows. It's a South Park episode. You could have watched this on Comedy Central and laughed your ass off the entire time. It could have been a movie of South Park, and you would have loved it. You would have loved it. But instead of that, it's an interactive experience, and it really sells it, because making your character stronger is satisfying, because the game does the things scale, and having a strong character helps out a lot. So what sucked about it? I got nothing. I really don't. I could definitely see this pissing some people off who ever buy this for their little kid, thinking it's just going to be a cute little game. That's definitely going to piss them off, because this game is raunchy with a capital R. Raunchy. Nasty. Disgusting. Perfect for the South Park fan. It pays homage to itself 1,000 times over, and it makes fun of a lot of video game stuff too. I can't say anything without giving it away, but the jokes, I won't say it, but because the jokes make it funny when you find out what they're talking about. But geez, I mean, I'm really struggling here. I don't know what to complain about. On one hand, I want to be like, well, one thing I'll complain about is sometimes it doesn't, the button registering and all that, but that's not the problem. I was the problem when that came up. When it's like, hit L, your left button to the right, and then quickly hit it to the other side. I'm the one that screwed that up. That ain't the game's fault. I thought it was the game's fault, but it's not. It was all me that was screwing that up. I got nothing, man. I don't know what negative thing I could say. I wanted more. How about that? That's negative. How about that? I want more. I want to play more. It was probably like people said it was about a 14-hour campaign. I think that's about right for just a single player. You could probably bump that up to 20 to 25 with all the side stuff. I don't know what to say, man. There's just nothing negative I got for you on this title. It was awesome. I mean, we'll ask the guys here, but type of 1 if you thought South Park was awesome. Type of 2 if it wasn't your cup of tea. Would like to hear from you. But something tells me these guys are not going to put a 2 up there. I'd be surprised if you see a 2, because everyone loved it. So, they're asking for $60 for this. Yeah. It is freaking $60 worthy, man. I mean, it does have you can continue after credits. I don't know if it has a New Game Plus, but I could totally see it being a viable thing to play this to 100% completion. I could totally see that. When you want to see more content because it's so damn funny. Would you play through it again? Yeah, I think I would. I can honestly say that I would. Now, there's not a lot of games that I could say I would sit down and play through again. Shadow of the Colossus, I would play through that again. Fallout 3, I would play that again. I can honestly say that I would want to play this South Park again. I'd like to play as a different class. Choose different options in the game. You actually had a couple times in the game where you could choose one option or the other. And I'd like to go make different choices and see how that affects the game. So yeah, guys, this is the big 3 right here, man. Best South Park game ever made, best comedy game ever made, and the nastiest game I've ever played. So $60, no problem. Here's the money. Have at it. It's well worth it. You can, if you're come on, if you like RPGs, or if you like South Park itself, this is a no-brainer. Um, Hell, I even think guys that don't like RPGs will like this game because it just the RPG elements of it is not that hard line, not like a Final Fantasy or something like that. It's kind of low key, and that's good that it's like that. It's good that it's not a hardcore serious RPG, and that it just kind of goofs on it a little bit, and that's good. Um, Glowing recommendation here from me. Go out and buy it with confidence. You're going to spend your money well. I hope this helps you make a decision one way or the other. And that's me. That's it for me. Sorry. That's me. That's it for me, and I'm out, guys. Have a good night. Take care.